I spent the majority of 2021 listening to 100 new musicals, as I'd loved musicals since I was a little kid. I discovered so many new shows that I fell in love with, but none more so than the works of Stephen Sondheim. As a child, the score of Sweeney Todd rang in my ears as fervently as the film scores that had captured my imagination at such a young age. Since his passing on the 27th of November 2021, I've been thinking of his work almost every day. And now, on his 92nd birthday, I wanted to do something to honour his work and what it means to me. Mark Eden Horowitz of Sondheim on Music says, "I wish more people wrote like Sondheim. Not to sound like him or to copy him, but to invest their work with the same kind of care and intellect." What I've loved about his work is his wit, his humanity, and his way of showing people just being people. Flawed, who made decisions. Whether they be an overbearing show mother, a princess on the steps of the palace, a vainglorious actor hell-bent on killing the president, a demon barber shaving a face, a bachelor on his 35th birthday, or a painter trying to finish his masterpiece. Of course, I know that he didn't do this all himself. Sondheim had a multitude of collaborators that helped him roll along, merrily or not. Since his passing, the amount of interviews, essays, and discussions about his work have helped me as a creative. There are so many to choose from, and they're all brilliant. Horowitz continues, Sondheim as a teacher provides guideposts, not just for the writing of songs, but also arguably any artistic or intellectual pursuit. I am a young writer, with plenty of roads to try, and as Horowitz says, how often do we have the opportunity to learn from the best? Here are some things I picked up from various books, interviews, and documentaries I've seen. Think of the whole score before writing the first song. Stopping to sing a song, no matter how relevant, can impede the pace of the story. Don't start a show or project that'll feel like a waste of your life. Music must keep moving, so try and move away from first inversions. And lastly, content dictates form, or tone.
One of my favorite tunes, if not my favorite tune ever, is the Dies Irae. I thought it would be useful to take the Dies Irae, that tune, and use it as the basis of Sweeney's music, because he's a man who's in love with death. It gave me a start and gave me an atmosphere, because I've always found the Dies Irae both moving and upsetting at the same time. It scares me and it moves me.
Less is more.
The score I'm writing, Wise Guys, I've got my usual 5 and 6 note chords in there. I'm thinking, do I really need 5 notes? How about 4? How about a triad? No inner voice, just D, F sharp, and A. I'm not the first person to use it, but it doesn't matter. How about a little less? And it's hard because I have to speak for myself, but the older I get, the less confident I get in what I do. And yet, I think, don't cover it up with either wrong or extra notes. What's necessary? Sunday in the Park with George is very spare, and that seems right, because look what he did. And, it echoes the subject. This is a vaudeville show, Wise Guys, and vaudeville is not full of complications.
God is in the details.
I don't know how much you talk with your book writer before you write. I talk extensively. I mean, really extensively. First of all, wanting to get to know what the characters are like, and secondly, how songs can help the show as opposed to hinder it, because that's the hard part, is you really have to, it's always elusive, should this be a musical or not, or should it be a play, Quite often what will happen is ask the book writer to write into the scene, or maybe even the whole scene first, or if I know, for example, the first song in Sunday Part with George, we knew that we wanted to introduce the relationship between Dot and George, and since the scene was that she was posing for him, it became clear that either he was going to sing an internal monologue or that she was going to sing an internal monologue, and it seemed to be her moment. Then, knowing that she's in a heavy dress on a hot day, you know she's going to be ill-tempered. And if you know she's going to be ill-tempered, right away, so it all channels right away. You're 80% ahead of the game, as you know, if you have a situation
that is juicy enough to sing about, as opposed to just two people meeting.
All in the service of clarity, without which nothing else matters. In putting it together, James Lapine says, endings are difficult. Putting the last dot on the canvas, the final note on the sheet music, the last period on the page. Sondheim may be gone, but his work and his legacy will continue to inspire for years to come.
Look at all the things you gave to me.
Things I hadn't looked
Let
at
me
till
give
now.
to you
Flower on
something
your
in
hat
return.
and your smile
I
and
would be
the
so
color of your hair and the way you catch the light and the care and the feeling.
Music that means the most to you is about memory. How you felt when you first heard it, or how it filled your life with feeling and meaning.
Just keep moving on.
Thank you, Stephen, for the care and the feeling and the life.
Anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new. Give us more to see.
Here are a couple of resources that inspired me to create this. Lena Norm's Sondheim was not a genius, and here's why, and Listening In's Why Sondheim's Music is So Addictive. As Lena mentions, if you're a Sondheim fan and you're not listening to Putting It Together, you're doing yourself a disservice. Thank you for watching, and happy birthday, Mr. Sondheim.